Okay, the W8BN has its purpose, okay? We will do a Form 56, a substitute Form 56. It will have its purpose. It will also be classified as an affidavit in doing it. We will also do a Form 56F, one for the 98 series number for the foreign grantor trust, and then one for the estate EIN, okay? Those will also be affidavits in the process. They will have their purpose. You will also, later on, when you get ready to terminate your whole account, of which you are going to turn over to the Treasury Department, okay, when you terminate that account, because you will be able to draw against a Treasury account all the funds that you need for the rest of your life. Okay?
Excellent.
So you don't worry about how much money is in that account, because most all of it is out there under fraud in the process, illegal gains. So you're going to voluntarily give that up to have it processed and put into the de jure treasury, of which you will be able to access using your birth certificate with your affidavit and 98 series number, your Form 56F, and the birth certificate, and then also everything that you do out here to access and settle anything is done by a letter of credit. Everything that we have out here is a promissory note, except for the birth certificate, which is held at the Treasury. And that is our birthing credits that our inheritance, our American birthing inheritance. Okay? And that is with the de jure treasury of the country. But all this fraudulent stuff under the Social Security and under the marriage license and all this other stuff basically has been out there under a promissory note that they gave you. The driver's license, it's a promissory note. The passport, it's a promissory note. They promise to take care of you using those instruments. Every one of them has an insurance policy or an assurance policy attached to it. You can utilize those as promissory notes, and you can write a letter of credit and draw the credits that are there. It's like you have a whole life insurance policy, and basically you've been paying into it for 20 years. You can go and do a draw against that whole life insurance policy and utilize some of the funds right now. You don't have to wait until you die. Now, when you die, basically, they will take that away from the value that is left if you don't put it back into the policy. They will subtract that off for the beneficiary down the road. The problem is most of you people get into these instruments and you don't look at what or find out what they are capable of. So everything out here, you have a bank account. You have a $250,000 insurance policy on that bank account by way of the FDIC. You can write a letter of credit against that $250,000 policy and have it deposited into your bank account. They won't like it, but basically they can't stop it. They set the system up to try and make money off of you. They hoped that you wouldn't wake up to the fact and stand up to them in the process. This letter of credit that I put up there, this is an example, okay? And that one was for basically if you get an IRS bill. But you can modify that for any item you have out there. You got a driver's license. That's a promissory note. You have a certificate of title to the house. That's a promissory note. You have that can pay the property taxes. That is in the state bank and insurance system. The state banking and insurance system. So you have to go after the state banking and insurance, not the Social Security banking and IRS and Social Security banking system. You have a marriage license. There, on both sides, there is 2 policies, 2 life insurance policies of $11.2 million there. That was to take care of the missing spouse in a marriage. The state, it was supposed to be insurance. Why else would they have a state license or marriage license when they don't need it? Because they wanted to make an insurance policy out of it. They wanted to make a profit off of you. See the scam?
Yes.
Okay? All licenses out here. You don't need them. A license is only an item to allow you to break their laws so that they can turn around and charge you for breaking the law. But you had a promissory note with that license that it was to pay the bill for you breaking the law. See, this is what most people don't understand. They really don't understand how banking really functions. You think you know a lot of stuff, but basically, I'm telling you, you don't know shit.
Well, they sure know how to hide it.
Yeah. And basically the people didn't know where to look to find the answer. I've been talking about a bunch of this stuff for almost 5-6 years, all along this whole line. It was just that I had the piece of the puzzle in my hand and I couldn't see where it went on the board. Now I do because I turned it the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are going to have to start looking at this stuff and opening up your mind a little more and stop going about what you've been told in the past, because that's only going to get you further in trouble. All of this stuff was in the book of Daniel. But people don't know how to look at that book. They don't know how to look at the whole Bible and know anything. They've listened to all the bankers out here tell them, oh no, that's not right. Don't go to these guys. These guys are evil. The FBI. Whoever in charge of it, he was just a fag. He was against the whole country. The Jesuits, the men in black, they're the evil side of the church. No, they're the bank examiners. The FBI is the bank examiners. So when one outfit gets badmouthed too much by the bankers, and that's who's putting out all the bad shit, it's the bankers, you better look to that other group as being the good guys. And they are. You have to, if you're going to go to the Inspector Generals and to the FBI, you better know the laws of banking or some of the understandings about banking in this country so that you can prove your case of fraud again that they are perpetrating on you. I don't know if all you guys have that latest Rev 2 letter of credit that I posted up there. If you do, the one thing you need to modify it now, if you got the latest statement about the heading that I had sent to Tom and sent to several other people on the different Skype groups, okay? You need to change the issuer to issuer/grantors, apostrophe S. Or not grantors, guarantors, okay? Because basically the issuer is the guarantor of that letter of credit.
Oh.
He's also the dead mortmain account.
Issuers/grantors.
I got it.
Guarantor. GUARANTOR apostrophe S. And the one that is out there should be letter of credit against the issuer/guarantor's Social Security welfare promissory note with the foreign chartered U.S. Department of the Treasury foreign IRS/SS Bank and Trust.
Was that on the Yahoo group, Patrick? I don't see it. I'm sorry.
Yes, it is.
No. Tom should have posted it up there.
It is.
Okay.
IRS letter of credit template example Rev 2.
I'm looking at it.
And then see, you get a letter from the IRS, a IRS tax bill. You can use this one. You turn around, you send it to where that bill came from the presenter. You need to read that UCC Banking Laws, Article 5, Section 5108, and understand it. Mark it up, print it out, and then mark it up. Highlight different things until you fully understand it frontwards, backwards, inside and out. Because that's where your remedy is at.
Yeah, we got all the juice. Yeah, Patrick. Yeah.
Okay? And then if you get an IRS tax bill, you can use this template right here. You turn around and basically you've got your account numbers.
Okay.
You've got the bank routing number. You have a credit bank account, which is the number on the back of the Social Security card. If you don't have a Social Security card with that number on the back of it, then you take that one off. You've just got the offshore account.
Yeah. Mine starts with an E.
I don't care what it starts with, okay? That basically is an IRS credit bank account that is being held in the appropriate Federal Reserve Bank. But see, we tried to go to the Federal Reserve banks. We can't go there. We have to process it through the IRS or the Social Security Administration. You can take a letter of credit down and put it into the Social Security, your local Social Security office, if you do it right. You can take one of these letters of credit and deposit into your local bank account. You're just doing a transfer of credits from one bank to another.
Well, that'll freak them out.
No, they know about letters of credit. Type in letters of credit in the internet. Zion Bank will come up, and basically they've got 3 different classifications of letters of credit. Most of them are for foreign letters of credit. Well, basically, your system falls right in there, too. They know about these letters of credit. It's a little different than their normal letters of credit that they get from the corporate manufacturers and stuff like that, but it is still a valid letter of credit that they're going to have to process. And this is with the U.S. Department of the Treasury. Foreign IRS/SS Bank and Trust. That's how this country's been operated with this IRS and SS Bank and Trust for now almost 30-some years. Well, longer than that. Basically since roughly 1935. This is the public banking system in this country. In a lot of cases, it replaced the post office banking system that they terminated the savings, postal savings accounts with the post office, that is your post office, back in 66 or something like that. And then they forced everybody into this other bank and trust system. But you have more accounts out there, promissory notes, all over the place. And you can do a letter of credit against each and every one of those promissory notes. You can have funds put into your bank. You can have all your bills paid. Now, if you have a utility company, and you gave them your Social Security number, a public utility company, basically it's got its own account. You are insured in that by that company. That account is insured. So they're making a profit off of usage of your Social Security assets for that company, because I told you for years, all of these corporations have to zero their books at the end of the year. So they have to borrow money. Who do they borrow from? They're borrowing it from our Social Security account. And then they're holding the credits. At the end of the year, they have to release those credits, and those credits go back into your account. Because you didn't utilize those credits to set off the bill when they presented it to you.
Oh.
Bill Smith and Lawrence Singer.
A letter of credit is nothing more than you releasing the credits to allow the set-off. But you are not the issuer. It's the name on the account. He's the guarantor. Look at your bills a little more carefully. You might find something like guarantor account number. You as the living are not the guarantor. The guarantor is your mortmain or your dead man person, your fictional person that's holding the credits. All court cases fall into this same category. You give them a letter of credit. That is the money system in this process. Letters of credit. Now, when you terminate your account, basically, and have that Social Security bank and credit bank and credit trust that's down there in Puerto Rico totally liquidated, you're going to turn it over to the Treasury Department. Let them come in and take their tariff taxes out of it, because basically 99% of all the funds that are held in that account are illegal, illicit, drug, dope running, you name it, gun running, whatever, governmental fraud, profits that they've been out here utilizing and destroying the country. They're holding those hidden in our mortgage accounts down there in Puerto Rico. That's how they're getting away with hiding all this stuff for their benefit down the road. And then they basically wait until you die off, and then they come in and claim those mortgage accounts. After 10 years, the bankers can come in and basically take out any safety deposit box that's over 10 years old, or they know that the owner is dead. Understand banking laws. Understand the definitions of words. That's why I keep posting all these words up there for you guys to try and understand them. You people have to concentrate on what you want, okay? You go running off and following these other nitwits out here. None of them know anything about this shit. Or if they do, they're totally misleading you down the wrong path. Why aren't they telling you this? If they don't even come close to saying one iota about this, basically you know that they're wrong. All these YouTube damn movies out here, Rob Ryder and all the rest of the damn nitwits. I'm glad my damn internet don't get half those damn YouTubes, because I don't even want to see them. So don't try to keep sending me messages. Hey, go and watch this YouTube. Fuck that YouTube. That's just a fraud tube. I give you the damn movies to watch and find out the real truth out there. Go and watch them. But I wanted to talk tonight to basically try and get you guys to looking at these letters of credit with a little more open mind, that everything out here is done as a promissory note. They promised us. They gave us promises, but they did a fraudulent concealment by not telling us the whole process. That's banking fraud right there. You read that 5108, the issuer's rights and obligations, you get them into dishonor. They dishonor your letter of credit then they are in banking fraud. Now you can come down upon them. They can lose their license. You lose their charter. You can take any attorney, any judge out of the system if they violate these banking laws. But you have to know the banking laws that they're violating, how the fraud is being perpetrated. You turn to the inspector generals, and there's more than one inspector general in this process out here. You got the postmaster inspector general, you got the IRS inspector general, you got the Social Security inspector general, you got the Treasury inspector general, you got the inspector general of the Justice Department, you got the judicial inspector general, you got the state inspectors, and then you have the biggie of them all, the federal bank investigators, the FBI. They do more investigation in banking than they do in any other enforcement out here. Only once in a while do they ever go after a criminal. But yet they badmouth old J. Edgar Hoover for cross-dressing and all this. And he was more of an American than 99% of those cross-dressing judges. Operating in the banking settlement courts. You ask the questions to these guys. You never just make a statement. You always finish it off with a question. But you can take a copy of this in this format, modify it appropriately, do an attachment to your Social Security card, which you're also going to still make as a foreign promissory note or promissory document. No, not as a affidavit, foreign affidavit document.
Okay, good.
Okay? The same thing with your DD-214, the same thing with your Medicare card. You can turn around and do the same thing if you want to with your driver's license. You can make an affidavit up against any of those, a foreign affidavit, stating that this is a promissory note. They have to rebut that. But if you do your letter of credit right and put the notation on there, you can cover it several different ways. You've got to be the creator. You're the God. Come on, people, wake up. It's called out in the Bible, both in the New Testament and the Old Testament. Ye are gods. In other words, you're the creators. Act like a creator and create some shit instead of eating all this shit. Yeah, I'm getting sick and tired of eating the bullshit from the bankers. I'll start creating my own shit and start slinging it at them. Here, how do you like this? You can take them down in that regard, and they can't do a damn thing about it. They try and do anything, and if you've informed the right people, the inspectors, generals, and the banking inspectors, Secret Service is another banking inspecting department. We've talked to them all. Okay? Even the postal inspectors are there. And I've talked to them. They know that I know a hell of a lot more than what the average person does, and that basically if they overstep their boundaries, they're the ones that could be held liable. That's why I've gotten away with more shit than most people. Because I'm not afraid to stand up. Even if I'm the only one in the room that has to stand up and claim fraud in the process. Because when I know I'm right, I know it. And I'm not going to sit there and sit on my ass knowing I'm right and not standing up for my rights. Now, does anybody have any questions on these documents that I put up there?
I do, Patrick.
Go ahead.
On the
Speak up.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
On the affidavit, like in the very last paragraph, it talks.
Which affidavit?
I'm sorry. The letter of credit. The last letter of credit that Tom just posted.
Okay.
It's the next to the last paragraph, actually, where it talks about you transferring the funds over to the different accounts. Now, I don't have any accounts. I don't have a banking account, and I don't have a card.
Okay, then you would request that they issue you a card.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did. I was just checking.
Yeah.
And my other question is,
or that they arrange a means of a check or something that you can get. Send me a check, a treasury check, or whatever. Okay.
Okay. I got you.
Yeah. Okay. Go on.
The thing about this fraud, isn't it some kind of maximum of law that once you expose the fraud, that everything is null and void? Something like that. I mean, so wouldn't it stand to reason not to expose the fraud?
No, there is no time limit on fraud.
Yeah. But what I'm saying, what I'm trying to say is, like, okay, I know you committed fraud against me. That means the contract, they're going to kill the contract, which means I can't make another contract with them if I already exposed it, which means I can't benefit from it if I tell.
If you expose their fraud in a contract, the contract has to be settled and liquidated.
Okay, so that's what it is. And so they're supposed to settle the account instead of it being...
It's going to have to be liquidated, okay?
Okay. All right. I got you. I thought I had... I got it, Patrick. I got it.
And see, you can turn around and get a certificate of live birth. You've got your 98 series number, so that's your bank routing number or your routing number to go into the de jure treasury and get credits out of the de jure treasury and request from the de jure treasury, the Treasury Department, a debit card, a credit debiting card, and it will probably be a completely different credit debiting card, because this credit debiting card that I have here, the Struct Express, is by the Department of the Treasury.
Mm-hmm.
There will be another one by the Treasury Department. That will probably be the black card that everybody thinks that's out there that nobody sees, because those people are going after the right account. Now, whether they terminated their total Social Security account and liquidated all the contracts with the state, the marriage license, the certificate of title to the property, certificate of title to the vehicle, the hunting license, the voter registration card, all of those different promissory notes that are out there, and turn those over to the Treasury Department, putting them into the Treasury, and then you can draw against that Treasury Department. There is no limit on it. That bank note doesn't have a limit. But you put the amount on each banknote. You can always get more banknotes. Those are just banknote coupons. The main banknote is your registration number.
The estate EIN.
What?
Are you saying, are you referring to the estate EIN?
No. To the registration number that's on your birth certificate, known as the certificate of live birth. That is the banknote. All these others are promissory notes.
Okay.
Right, yeah, that one, okay, it's just by itself.
Yes, it's in a completely different system. That's in the de jure system. This out here is in the foreign fraudulent banking system, the Social Security and IRS system. And then all the state, and they're all under charters. Even the Department of Treasury is a charter, a sub-charter against the original Constitution. So it's a foreign charter. You don't need to have a foreign address. You're living in a foreign state compared to Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
You're living in a foreign state compared to Maryland or compared to England, which the United States, this secondary United States of America, minor, it is a foreign company out of England. It's a foreign state company or corporation, however you want to look at it. It was incorporated in England. It wasn't incorporated here in the United States.
Yes.
And see, all banks and everything out here is in banking. And all banks have to operate under a charter. And there's always two sides to every coin in the de facto government. Okay? Ford Motor Company had the manufacturing side of the coin. Ford Motor Company Credit Company, or Ford Motor Credit Company, is the backside. The movie Moby Dick. Okay? The accountants and basically the owners, they were on board the ship to sign up the people, the sailors, to go to sea. But when the vessel got ready to go to sea, what happened? They got off the vessel because they were not going out there for hire and for profit. They stayed on land. People don't see those little tidbits that you've got to look for in these movies.
I missed that one.
See, everything out here is two-sided in their system. Now, go and look at a coin from the Republic of Rome when Caesar was in power, when it was still a republic, even though he was the head guy. It was a one-sided coin. It only had his picture on one side. The back side was solid gold. Asset-backed. See, these coins that they have, they've got to have an insurance policy behind them. That's why we have two-sided money, because they've got to have the insurance policy sitting there to insure the money, because they're operating with no real assets out there behind it. It's all fraud.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions?
Yes, Patrick, you mentioned depositing a letter of credit into the bank. What would be the presentment bill on that? When we do utility presentment, we have their bill. Was the letter of credit, it's our letter of credit, its own presentment?
You just take a letter of credit and you fill out a deposit slip and put it into the bank.
Okay, fill out their deposit slip. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
You're saying deposit this letter of credit. They will have to go and process those credit transfers. You can even put the word transfer in the process. Read 108.
Right.
Okay.
So I can also open an account with it as well then.
More than likely, not opening the account initially. After you get the account open, then you could probably slip this in on them. Okay? They're not going to like it, because you're taking something away from them. You're taking their banking system away from them. They want to make a profit off of you. They want you to put your labor into their bank, and then they can turn around and use your labor out there in their fraudulent banking system to hire it out and to make a profit off of it. But if you just transfer credits that have already been utilized, they can't basically go against the credits. You guys have got to think about this stuff before you act, okay? Because if you don't do this right, you can get yourself in big trouble.
I was going over the UCC 108 today, and just a minor point. We're the applicant and presenter, and in your example, the IRS is the issuer, right?
No. Your all capital name person that's on that Social Security card is the issuer.
Okay.
The Social Security is the promissory, and the IRS are the promissory, the promisers on the promissory note.
Okay. They're handling.
They promised to take care of us if we allowed them to use our shit. And then we issue the letter of credit against our shit that they're holding.
Okay, I looked at it
But
wrong.
we are not the issuers. We are the authorized representative for the issuer, who is the name that's on the account.
All right, okay, got it.
Yeah, as I remember.
He's the guarantor. See, you've got to keep yourself in the right position. You step out into the wrong position, and basically, it's like You're playing football, and now the quarterback's going to be up there on the line trying to play as a tackle when he's really supposed to be the quarterback, and the tackle's supposed to be protecting him, and you want to play up on the line, you're going to get your ass creamed. That's what happens to too many people. They're playing out of position.
You're right about the Congress promising. I remember that statement as they said it was a solemn promise.
You have to read the definition about a note, okay, and notation, and know what a promise is, okay? Who's the promiser? Okay? The charterer. They've taken our assets and they promised, we're the vessel owner. They promised to take care of our cargo for us under charter. They promised to make delivery of our cargo.
Okay, this letter of credit, the first mention of account routing number is our social with dashes.
That is the bank routing number.
Yeah, and then the bank account number is the number
the
of the
credit bank account number is the number that's on the back of a Social Security card. That's the back side.
And then the credit trust account is the social with no dashes.
The credit trust account is the Social Security number without the dashes that is hidden out of sight. And that's hidden offshore because that's in a mortmain account. And they're utilizing that account down there in Puerto Rico as their place that they can hide all their illicit profits. You go and do a master file against your Social Security card, and you're going to find out you're a gun runner or a drug dealer or something like that that's holding all of these drug money that the damn corporate United States fraudulent government is making a profit off of.
Okay, so for instance, if I say for them to give me
speak up a little and speak a little clearer, okay?
Where I'm asking for them to release the negative credit, say for instance, I'll put $250,000. Then for the building, where it says billing brokered settlement, value of would be the same amount.
If you're doing a transfer, you're transferring so many credits, okay?
Yeah.
Don't get carried away in this, okay? Just try and understand the Social Security banking system, okay?
Uh-huh.
If you need to have a little more money than that, take your certificate of live birth and go to Philadelphia and get it into that system.
Okay.
If you get a bill from the IRS, then you can always add another $10,000 or something like that to the bill that they send you, and then they'll send you the extra.
But
these guys, all of these companies, these corporations, all of the IRS forms belong to them. That's why we do a substitute W-8BN and a substitute form 56 and a substitute form 56F.
So IRS is the only place where we can get extra funds then, right?
No. But why do you need extra funds if you're getting the bill set off?
Right, but if we need extra funds, we can deposit it into the bank now.
You can do that, or basically you can start thinking about this shit. I mean, think about it and terminate this system and go to the de jure with the Treasury using your birth certificate.
Yes, but I'm trying to go with.
It's much simpler.
Okay.
You just do a labor credit, and you take a copy of your certificate of live birth, and you draw so much out of the de jure treasury.
Okay. Okay.
And then you surrender this one over to the Treasury Department and let them settle the matter.
Okay.
We surrender it over to the Financial Service Center in Kansas City or Philadelphia and let them come and ask us for all these documents that we have. Stop trying to do their job. They know their job. They know what they're looking for. They know all your accounts out here. They have a file on you that's bigger than shit.
I was just trying to do what you suggested. Start small, make sure you know the system before you go for the big stuff.
You take care of bills that you have with these letters of credit.
Okay.
Okay? Be satisfied with that. You get greedy and try and do something else, and you're going to screw it up. That's what I just tried to say a little bit ago. You're the quarterback, but now you're up on the line trying to play a lineman. You're in the wrong position. You're underweight. You're going to get run over by that 400-pound defensive tackle.
Troglodyte.
Yeah, he'll make a pancake out of you.
That's why you don't deal with Neanderthals or troglodytes.
And stay away from any of these other gurus out there. When they wake up and want to know the truth, they better come and talk to me.
Right.
Or they better get their heads out of their ass and go and talk to the banking inspectors and learn about banking in this country. Your account is basically being held in a bill, under a bill of attainder down there in Puerto Rico, under a foreign bill of attainder, because it's illegal to do bills of attainder in this country.
Mm-hmm.
Even though all the people that are in prison are basically being held there under a foreign bill of attainder. People don't know that. Okay? These are foreign corporations that had you in prison. That's why this Expatriation Act was written. To give you some protections.
Patrick.
Yeah.
So they sitting in jail just so these evil people can just rob them while they sitting there. Is that what this is? For real, for real, for real?
No, they're turning around and using you as collateral in the system. Your labor. They're paying, somebody is paying to keep you out of circulation. Because by keeping you out of circulation, they can now charge more for the labor pool. But see, people don't even know that they're getting screwed by the labor out here. They're underpaid. They're not getting just payment. Hell, in some cases, we're making less than most of the overseas countries.
Oh. Yeah. I'm going undead there. Here, let me get this. I
See, the people that are coming across the border from Mexico don't even realize that basically in a lot of cases they're getting, their money is in a system that is also under inflation, but they also, in their system, the prices of things are cheaper down there, so their peso hasn't gotten the inflation value that our American dollar has. So these guys that are coming across the border, basically thinking that they're going to make it rich up here, not necessarily. In a way, they're really screwing themselves. Okay, any other questions?
Yeah, Patrick, I'm trying to understand here. Do we need to send the 56s, the W-8 Ben, to the port of entry first before we start using the letters of credit?
No.
And if no?
No. You've got the authority basically by having that promissory note. You address the promissory note that you're holding. The promissory note for this is the Social Security card. Just like you have the certificate of live birth certificate, that is a bank note. You can start utilizing that today. All you needed was to have your routing number to route the funds out. And that's the 98 series number. In banking, you need a routing number.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, and see, you've got a routing number. The Social Security number with the dashes. And then you've got the two account numbers with the new updated Social Security card. They had you a credit bank account with the Federal Reserve Bank, okay, over there under the IRS, Treasury and IRS / Social Security bank, credit bank account, okay, and then you have the initial one, which is the offshore monomain credit trust account. But it's not a trust. It's an entrustment. Okay? There is no trust in this country. It's just entrustments.
Is there an updated endorsement for the back of the birth certificate?
Not yet. You can make up your own. I've given you enough information here. You ought to be able to piecemeal the thing together.
Okay.
You got to learn, okay? You guys have to take some of this initiative yourself so that you learn when you write this stuff down. And you have to think about it. Hell, it takes me 3, sometimes 4 days to do one simple little document. You think it's simple, but it ain't. You've got to think about what you're doing. All the different aspects of it. You've got to check out the words that you're using to make sure you're using the word in the right perspective. You're doing your homework. And sometimes your homework wasn't done overnight. You were given 3 or 4 days to do your homework.
Fine, but this finals week, we trying to cram for the exam, man.
Yeah, well, basically, yeah. You better start doing your homework first so that you know what's going to be on the test. If you don't do the simple thing, you'll never get the complicated thing done. I could give you metaphors up the ass. I've given you enough. Jesus got fed up giving metaphors to the people and finally said, I've had enough. I'm out of here. Daniel did it about 3 times and then finally said, I'm going and sitting in the gate. When you guys figure out what I've done, then you can come over and I'll let you out the gate. And you can go home.
Can I ask you a question?
Moses did the same thing to the Hebrew people. He kept them out in the desert, hoping that most of them would die, the idiots would die, and that the younger people would mourn. But the mentality of the human nature out here is that they want to do it the easy way. And you do it the easy way, and you're going to fuck yourself. Okay, go ahead with your question.
Man, Patrick, you man, so you got to understand that, where you come from, where you started, and the process and this road that you've taken on, for all of us, for lack of a better word. I mean, this stuff just ain't readily known, and it ain't easy to understand either, especially when this, since 05, 04, this winding road has been extraordinary, man. I mean, I just want to say that because man, it could have never been easy. And so it can't be easy today either.
No. But I've tried to basically walk you through the process as I went along. I didn't hide anything from you people. I was giving you the words to look up. I was giving you different things to go out and study. The problem was that most of you didn't do shit with it. And now it's coming test time, and basically you're going to screw up the test. You're going to flunk. Because you didn't take the time to listen to me. I'm not a bad teacher. You are bad students.
I think that's the only time I understand you is when you snap out. Because I'll be missing all kind of stuff, but then when you get angry, that's when I'll be like, okay, now I got it, now I really got it, but some of them other times, I'll be lost, man. I'll be completely lost.
Yeah, I know. Well, you're in sort of a bad situation by not being able to have access to all this right away.
Because I feel you, and you ain't never been wrong about none of this stuff, because I followed it. I mean, I do my due diligence behind what you say. That's why I've been with you all the way through this. I ain't never left this process, never. I gave up everything to hang in with this.
Yeah.
So, I mean, thank you so much, Patrick. I love you, man.
Okay. Hang in there. You'll make it. I'm not sure about some of the rest of you guys, but basically, I think you'll make it. Any other questions out there? Tom, you still there?
Oh, yeah, I'm here.
Okay, go ahead and end the call.
Okay, thank you very much, Patrick.
Good night,
Okay.
Patrick.
Okay, good night.
Thank you, Patrick.
Okay.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night.
Okay. I've got something to tell you guys, though.
Okay.
I posted it in the Skype group that the phone number for this call is going to change on December 15th. It was sent out in an email and also posted in the Skype group, but I can give you the new number now. It's 641 641-715-3655. I'll do that again. 641-715-3655.
Hey, Tom, does the passcode stay the same?
Passcode stays the same.
Okay, great.
Okay?
Thomas.
Yeah.
I wanted to thank you too, man, because you've been the anchor too in all of this, because you've been there through all this mess as well. So.
Thank you. We got to get together and get these things going.
That's right.
Okay?
Thank you, Tom.
You're welcome.
You, Sean?
Yeah.
You, brother.
Right on, baby.